of Janahammer 40k. Technically the first episode of Janahammer 40k, because this is the first time I decided to call it that. So, without further ado, we're going to get on with building Gaunts Ghosts. So I'm going to build another 2 of those models tonight, whilst just generally chatting and you listening to my witterings about 40k and the hobby in general. So let's see how we go with tonight's episode. So tonight we've got 2 more to build. I think, well, we'll see what comes out, shall we? Who's next on the list? So while I get that sorted out, you'll probably see behind me my new paint shelf with all my painting and modelling tools on it. I've already got my files and my modelling knife and that all out, so everything's ready there. Get some bases, because you kind of need them. They are kind of important. But, I'll show you. A lot of controversy over bases at the moment. I say a lot of controversy. There's some controversy over bases at the moment, which has been interesting to follow. But see how that pans out generally. But bases are bases. I mean, I'll put on whatever. So I mean, I believe you can still put them on whatever size base you want. So to a certain extent. But then again, I don't play much at the moment. So who knows? Right. So we've built Commissar Gaunt, and we've built Colonel Quebec. So next, I think we will move on to, you can see that there, Major Elim Rain. So let's see what we can do. Base, that's fine. So we are looking for parts 31, 30, and 32 to start off with. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so I'm trying a new camera setup today to see how this works. We will see how things go. And I did see a comment. I didn't catch the name. My first comment, so that's all good. And it's from someone I haven't shared the video to directly on a link, so that's always good. I'll be interested to know how he found me. So thank you for that. He did say about how his experience in the Mold Line Citadel miniatures aren't that much better. So we'll see. I think it's my problem is, again, it's been quite a while since I've built anything resembling one of the older kits. So we'll see. But maybe it's just my my memory being clouded. Rose tinted spectacles, as they say. At 31. Let's see how this goes. And in answer to that comment, I'm not a Tanith player. No, I play, well, I say I play Acadians. I play a custom regiment Acadians. They're the called them the Rainsworld 29th and 3rd, which is named after my eldest son and his birthday. So that's where they come from. Custom regiment. I'll get them. I'll get some of the painting models out later and show you at some point and show you. That's the intention anyway. Whether it'll happen or not, who knows? But you never know with these days. So like I say, I'm intending to use these guys as possibly as characters. I mean, they're an HQ choice, so I think they can be taken. If I read it right, they can be taken in pretty much any Imperial Guard army. So we might have to have a play around with those and see how they work. But that's the beauty of the Guard. There's so many different options for how you achieve your goals. 32, where are you? Over here. Do you know, I think the amount of work that goes into designing these sprues is quite impressive when you think about it. Right, so put those to one side. Get on with the... Now, if this works, should autofocus. Yay! The technology is working. It's always a good thing. What's on your hobby desks at the moment? I mean, I say I've got a lot of guard to be getting on with. I've still got a couple of chimeras. So I've got a chimera to paint. I've got some heavy weapons teams. I've got command squads, I think. I've got a fair bit to be getting on with, but I've also just had some assassins, some third-party assassins arrive, as I did mention before. I've had a quick look and made sure everything has arrived as it should do, but I'm going to need going to be a bit of an interesting game to get off this bruise. At, anyway, so but yeah, well, I've got a fair few things to work through. I've got some Space Marines. My eldest originally bought and abandoned. I need to paint, so I'm planning on doing them as a kind of like a little set of allies for my guard, because it's always handy for a spearhead type thing. And I just like paint. I must admit, my first 40k army many moons ago was Space Marines, and I do like painting them. They can be quite fun to paint. But yeah, so I've got a few other bits and bobs. But anyway, so the assassins are going to be interesting because they're 3D printed and interesting way of attaching, which I will of course show you at the appropriate juncture when I get them out of the box for you. But yeah, I had a quick look at them when they first arrived. They look really cool. I mean, the models look really cool anyway, and they're ridiculously cheap compared to the proper workshop ones. But, I don't really care about playing in 40k tournaments, so I don't really mind. I'm not that much of a competitive player. I just like playing. I just like playing. That's all I think most people are like that. I mean, I've known some hyper competitive players in my time. That kind of like always got to have the newest army because it's the coolest or the most powerful. So that's just not me. I mean, good lord, I mean, just look at the army I've picked for my 40k. It's Imperial Guard. It's like flashlight and a thick vest, as they say. Although there are always other tanks. Right, let's glue this baby. Let's check my polystyrene cement doesn't need sorting out. Good. No, it doesn't. Don't need to get the matches out again. That's an interesting one. A lot more surface to glue on this time, so should, in theory, be a bit easier. What was your favourite kits to build? Mine, I must admit, I really enjoyed building my Lehman buses. I really enjoyed them. A really interesting kit to build. Well, so I'd be interested to know what your favourite kits are, or if there's a kit you particularly enjoy building. So that's going to fit like that. Looks a bit, yeah. But I was looking at the new Hexfire set that's come out, which looks quite interesting again. Then again, show me a Games Workshop box game that doesn't look interesting, I suppose. So if it doesn't look interesting, they're not doing their jobs right, are they? But yeah, I remember when you used to be able to get the original box games for 40 quid. You get 20 odd monopose Space Marines and God knows how many orcs and goblins and even a cardboard orc dreadnought. Yep, before they were killer cans or death dreads, they were dreadnoughts, just like everybody. Everyone had dreadnoughts. You had Space Marine dreadnoughts, you had Eldar dreadnoughts, you had orc dreadnoughts, you had Chaos dreadnought. Anyway. Okay, so next we're going to get the head and the other arm on, which are parts 33 and 35. Yeah, so many different options of the Lehman Russ kit these days, and like I say, you get a lot of physical accessory sprues and stuff. So it's always fun. Lots of options. And, I need more basilisks though. I've only got one at the moment. That feels like I'm missing out. Although for those, say from the seasoned guard players out there, it's like there's never enough heavy support slots, is there? Never enough. I've got enough. I'm trying to get to the point where I've got enough heavy weapons teams to give every one of my squads a heavy weapon. Generally, a missile launcher for the squads is generally what I go for. So utility. There you are. But I want to have enough. I want to have enough options. Like I say, I have heavy weapons teams to give every squad a heavy weapon, and also have a couple of heavy weapons teams. And I think I'm almost there. Missile launchers and mortars, your friends here. So there used to be a rule in one of the older codexes, codices, where you could, with mortars, there was an optional rule which you could basically, once one hit, you could land all of your guess range weapons within, in kind of like a pattern around it, which is really handy. But I don't think, if memory serves, it has been a while since I looked at the codex, but I don't think that's really survived in any form. Although, again, those of you as old as me will remember the days of the squat thud gun. It's one of the many fascinatingly complicated templates that second edition 40k had. That was always fun to use. And then you had the but yeah, so lots of interesting templates. And then of course, again, you go back a bit further, and you've got the joys of Rogue Trader, and it's completely random tables of everything, which was fun to a certain extent. Again, the game's got very complicated very quickly. I used to have a copy of that. My granddad picked up for me at a boot sale, but I ended up having to sell that as I needed some money. I think it went to somewhere Australia actually. Deary me. Yes, poised to stab someone in the back, of course, as any sneaky scout would be. And now 34 for the las gun. Might be a las carbine actually. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Looks like it might just be a standard las gun, this one. They're not quite as useless as they seem when you've got 70 of them rapid firing, and with Cadians, of course, re-rolling ones. Very handy. And then I say you then get into the joys of orders. First rank fire, second rank fire, and all of a sudden your rapid firing 70 rapid firing las guns have become, well, do the math. Pumping out a lot of shots. Still takes quite a lot to kill a Space Marine though, but every little helps, as they say. I wonder if they have Tesco in the 41st millennium. Probably evil Tesco's. Evil Tesco's. It's an interesting concept. Right, poly cement on there. Oh, I'm going to need some new poly cement soon, I think. Oh, dear me. Rapidly come to the conclusion that poly cement is the most annoying adhesive on the planet. And there we have Major Rawne. Go on a little plinth of success. I think next video I might switch the camera over there, but we'll have a play around with that. So next up is Master Sniper Helene Larkin. Right, so part 18 and 19 to start off with. But yeah, what are you guys working on at the moment? It's always fascinating to find out what other people are up to. Especially in this kind of little COVID bubble we find ourselves in these days. It's like you don't get anywhere near as much interaction with people, and it'd be nice to know what people are working on. So let me know in the comments, eh? I'll see. So yeah, is anyone planning on buying Hexfire? I mean, I must admit, I'm tempted, but I just don't have the money at the moment. That is the downside of the workshop hobby. It does cost a lot of money. But of course, there is the old joke that if you get your kids interested in Warhammer, they'll never have enough money for drugs because they'll be spending all their hard-earned money on little bits of plastic crack. But yeah, I mean, I've been collecting this since I've been collecting this in various forms since the early 90s. So I went through Bansars, my first Necromunda gang, and then I had Redemptionists. Got into 40k, played some Space Marines, because of course I remember using my friend's brother. He's my friend as well, so technically it doesn't really matter. My friend's brother sold me the 40k, the second edition 40k box set, and Space Crusade. So those of you remember that was a good game. And it's a shame they don't make them like that anymore. But tons of Space Marines. You had all the expansions as well. So I got enough Space Marine bits to fill out a Devastator squad. So that was brilliant. Let's have a look. What does this guy look like? Not the best instructions in the world, but that could just be me. I might do. Let's have a look. Part 20. Let's have a look, see how this fits on, shall we? Part 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. That's 22, 20. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for test fitting and making sure you've got stuff right before you glue it. I learned that the hard way. And I was building Airfix kits. I built a Harrier as my first ever kit. First ever model kit. It's a Harrier jump jet. It's a very good kit. But I was still using bits of that on my Space Marine tanks 10 years later. Right, so that goes in there like that, and that goes on there like that. Right, okay. But, built a Harrier jump jet. I got a Thunderbird 5 model kit for Christmas one year. That was nice. Of course, I think the majority of boys in my age group I think the majority of us have bought a Airfix Spitfire at some point. Never really liked building model planes. kind of intrigued by model tanks. But, so yeah, it's probably just the tread head in me. But again, I've never really got round to buying it because I say I always got something else to spend my money on. But anyway, right then, let's have a look. So that's obviously meant to go in there. Do 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 do. And then I think that rests. Well, this is a pain in the bum, isn't it? Well, this is vexing. Can't really see. Okay. What's the last gun kit? 21. Let's see. Where's the long lads over here? If there's this rate, I might end up having to watch a bloody building video, see if I can figure out how to do this. So it fits on there. That fits in there. That fits in there. Hmm. Ah, gotcha. Moppet, I believe is the appropriate phrase there. Right, so that goes. Oh, isn't this vexing? Right, let's have a look at this. A bit more detail. Got it. Finally, that took far too long for my liking. Oh, again. bit blind in my old age. Might need to have a play with the lighting on here. I think I'm definitely going to need some new poly cement. This stuff's getting old. Yeah. Has anyone watched seen any new Warhammer Plus content? I've not looked at it myself, but I see they've got a new. I say new, actually. I don't think she's that new, but they've got a new. They've got a female painter, which is interesting. She's very good actually. I've watched a couple of her videos. She, unsurprisingly, considering who she works for, she certainly knows her stuff. She's done some really good stuff, really good bits and bobs. Some really good miniatures. I shall have to have a look. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I shall certainly have to look into that. So dear me. I shall certainly be watching some more of her stuff in the future. But, right. Okay, now did I do have I filed this one? Not yet. Ironically enough, I think I first saw her on Twitter. She was being trolled, and I think I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was not very flattering to the troll. So good on her. So it always amazes me. It's like people expect celebrities or Twitter personalities, whatever you want to call them, to just kind of like take it and not fight back, and it annoys me. Sometimes I think people should fight back. It just encourages them. But, another question: did any of you ever play All Quiet on the Martian Front? Because that's a game I've been. I must admit, I found quite interesting concept. I love the War of the Worlds and the mythology, and I've read recently finished reading the books that I think were inspired by it. I'm not quite sure. I've not quite figured out what the time frame is on that, whether they were inspired by it or they inspired the books. I think, looking at the publishing dates, I think the game inspired the books, and they're really quite good actually. You should check them out. And there we go. And there we have Master Sniper Helene Larkin, looking very swish. But, okay. And that's it for this evening. I shall have to go now. I've got some other stuff to do. So it's been a pleasure talking to you all. And hopefully I will speak to you all again in the very near future. Take care.